Good evening, grinders. We made it finally through that Fed rate cut decision. Fed Chair Powell and the committee decided to cut rates by a quarter basis point, to be expected. It was kind of telegraphed. Was really anticipating what Powell was going to say, what his comments were post the rate cut decision. And there's a lot of mixed reviews right now. I think this market really doesn't understand which way it wants to go moving forward. And we will take it to the scoreboards, the indexes, to give us the score for the day. So we did not get new highs today in the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, but the Dow did give us a new high today. So the S&P pretty much flat close, 0.10% lower. NASDAQ down 0.33%. The Dow, as I said, new high. 46,261 was a new high, but closed at 46,018. And I'm going to start tracking the Russell 2000. So the Russell closed at 2,407. It looks like there's a lot of transitioning from the tech stocks to the Russell and maybe more defensive plays. I've seen Walmart, if not hit a new high today, is darn close to it. Yep, Walmart hit a brand new high today, $106.11, but closed at 104.27. So that stock is starting to move. Some of the stocks that we have been watching recently, Oracle down a little under 2%. It's almost to $300 now. Google down less than 1%, 0.65, down 0.65% today. Some of the stocks that we watch, Nvidia. Now, if you are in the Patreon, you want to join the Patreon if you're not in yet to see what plays that I am looking at moving forward. We're also going to talk about quad witching here. If not tomorrow, we'll talk about it on Wednesday and how that can impact the market and what exactly quad witching is, or really more so triple witching. And so we'll talk about that later this week. These are all the plays that I have options in. So Nvidia today, like I said, they were down today, negative 2.6%. I think it was down about 4% at one point today, just under 4% today. Its low was 168.41 today. Palo Alto fought through it and has a lot of momentum going for the stock, up under 3% for the past 5 days and up just shy of 15% for the past month. Palantir beat up today, down 1%. QQQ down today. Remember that tracks the NASDAQ. So, of course, it's going to be down if the NASDAQ is down. Uber down pretty much 5% today. And it sold off today, and we talked about in the previous video earlier today that its competitor Lyft was partnering with Waymo, and that sent the stock down today. I still think Uber is a great company to invest in. I have quite a few shares invested long term, and I have option plays on Uber as well today. I actually sold the contract today. Not a lot of profit, but a win is a win. Amazon down today 1%, and Apple squeaked out a gain today of 0.35%. Moving down here, let's see if there's anybody else that we wanted to shout out. Netflix up 2.33% today. It could be because they're not really impacted by tariffs and interest rates. People are kind of locked in. They're going to pay for their Netflix regardless of how the economy is going. So I think Netflix is kind of like a safe play, much like Apple at this point in time. I did want to point out, and I believe it just started, Meta Connect conference. Meta was down just under 0.5% today. top gainers and losers today. I did want to show you guys that. You can see this on the CNBC app. Just scroll right down at the end of the day. But I did want to go over this, kind of maybe possibly give us some ideas of what to invest in. Remember, we said these high running stocks, especially if they hit their 52-week high, look for them to pull back a little bit. If it pulls back about 3 to 5%, that might be opportunity for you to jump in long term if you're looking for long term, and that might be opportunity for you to start looking for option plays. So I believe we're going to call this Hologic Inc. up under 8% today, just under 8%. Workday, company I worked for, used Workday. They are up, and Jim Cramer interviewed him today on Mad Money. They're up 7.2% today. And Fox Corp up 3% today, rounded out. American Express had a good day, up just under 3%. S&P 500. The losers, and we'll just go over the top three. I'll do the top three every day. Builders First, I'm assuming this is probably Solutions, down 5.6%. Uber, we already talked about them, down 5%. Look to get either long shares in that company or some option plays. And again, stay tuned. Lock in the Patreon, pay the $10 a month. And more than likely tomorrow morning, I'm going to talk about some options that I'm considering, and Uber is one of those companies. So if you're interested in getting into Uber and learning options, number one, I'm working an options course that is going to be free on YouTube, and I'll be rolling that out soon. And you can also join the Patreon and ask 1,000 questions if you'd like, and I'll be there to answer them for you. And Mohawk Industries, I believe, are down 4%, and that's for the S&P 500. We'll do the NASDAQ and the Dow as well. Again, Workday was a top gainer for the NASDAQ. PDD Holdings up 4.5%, and Marvell Technologies for the NASDAQ up 3%. The bottom are top losers for the NASDAQ today. Broadcom, Old Dominion, and NVIDIA was in there. NVIDIA got hit today. We are, as always, a company we're looking to add shares long-term and options contracts. And last, we'll look at the Dow. Again, American Express, Caterpillar did well today for the Dow, and Visa rounded out the top three. And losers in the Dow, NVIDIA, Home Depot was down 1% today. Interesting, with rate cuts down, Home Depot, which is kind of tied to the housing, and if rates are down, you would think the 10-year would be down, which would then have Home Depot going up. Maybe the 10-year went up today opposed to going down, even though they cut rates. So I'd have to look into that. But Home Depot down today, and Amazon down 1% today. So that's going to do it for today. I wouldn't sweat if you're in the market. I wouldn't sweat the downturn too much. We have a little bit more information coming our way. It could be a very volatile end of the week with triple witching, and we'll get into that. We'll explain that later this week. If not tomorrow, we'll do it Friday morning. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow.